next guest is celebrating the 10-year anniversary of his LGBTQ plus organization, Native Son. Founder and CEO Emil Wilbekin joins us live now from New York. Emil, first and foremost, congratulations on that 10-year anniversary. But it comes at an interesting time here in the US when you're thinking about gay rights in this country and some of the rollbacks we're seeing. You started this organization 10 years ago, so that is literally when Donald Trump was elected. Just talk to us about what the last 10 years have been like from a political perspective, especially when you compare this administration, or Trump's rather, first administration, to what we're seeing happen in the second administration.
Well, you know, Zain, it's so interesting, right, that we started in 2016, the year Trump was elected, and it was a scary time. It was also a call to action for us that this organization, Native Son, which is based off of James Baldwin's Notes of a Native Son, had a real place and time to really fight back against what was about to happen to us. Through the last 10 years, we made it, right? And we are going to make it again. But I think about the importance of protecting Black queer folks, and especially LGBTQ folks and trans folks right now. It is critical. You know, I think about, you asked me about what we've gone through. We've gone through COVID, right? And while COVID could have been devastating for our community, for Native Son, it was great because we tripled the size of the organization, just going live every day on social media, checking in with folks, taking care of folks, talking about the issues at hand, healthcare, how to survive during the pandemic. So that was super important. And then we still have to push, right? The rollbacks are happening strong, but again, Pride was started as a protest. So this is actually a time for us to motivate, to be focused on community, taking care of each other, but also standing up for our rights and pushing back.
When you think about some of these rollbacks, it's not just the fact that the administration has made certain rollbacks, but it's also what always strikes me is the way that some of them have been done. You think about June being Pride Month. The administration instead has labeled June Title X month as a way to sort of investigate, you know, schools for transgender participation in athletics. So what you're seeing is not just rollbacks, it's the way that the rollbacks are being announced. It's almost seems like the administration wants to send a strong message specifically to the LGBTQ community. When you are in a situation where your very identity is being politicized. Talk to us about how unsettling that is, just on a personal level for yourself.
Yeah, so personally for me, it's tough, right? I'm being attacked from my Blackness and my queerness. And it is actually forcing me to push harder, fight harder, and show up. One of the things that so many people said about the Native Son Awards 10th anniversary was that it felt like a safe space. It felt like joy. And what we've seen, right, we look at historically like the work of Bayard Rustin, who was Martin Luther King Jr.'s right hand, who was the architect of the March on Washington. We as Black people, we as LGBTQ plus people always have to fight. And so this in many ways is not new. It reminds us of what our purpose is.
So what can allies do? So members, you know, people who are not members of the LGBT community, what should we be doing at a time like this? The reason why I ask is I remember there was one point during the pandemic when Black Lives Matter was heating up. And I remember in the suburbs where I live, I was on my way somewhere in the car and I saw a Black Lives Matter protest, but the protesters were all white. It was a Black Lives Matter protest, but the protesters were all white. We've all seen that. And I remember being so touched by that. I had to sort of sit with it for a minute because it's sort of easy to protest the issues that affect you and your family. It takes a whole level of empathy to go out there to protest an issue that does not affect you at all, but it affects your neighbor, and that is enough for you. It affects your coworker, and that is enough for you. That really touched me. And so for people who aren't members of the LGBT community, what should those people be doing at a time like this as we're seeing these sorts of rollbacks?
I think people, to your point, it's the empathy, it's compassion. People have to show up and support, right? And support can look a lot of different ways. It can be financial support to organizations. Our organization's a nonprofit. There are a lot of nonprofits doing great work. The other part is, how do you show up and how do you treat people? And I'll give you a very great example. I'm a member of First Corinthian Baptist Church in Harlem. And one of the things that we did during Pride is host events that are specifically focused on the LGBTQ plus community in a progressive Baptist church in Harlem. This is huge. This shifts the narrative. This offers opportunities for allies to come in and engage with LGBTQ plus community, but it also normalizes, right, our lives, our existence, right? That we love each other, that we have partnerships in marriage and children, and that we are citizens just like they are. So I think the allyship comes in showing up and also being vocal and not being afraid to protect your neighbor.
Yeah, allyship is so important. I mean, whenever you've seen change in the United States, whether it's segregation, ending slavery, civil rights, the whole society has to work together. I mean, everybody,
Right.
black, white, everybody has to come together. If it's just
yeah.
black people fighting for black issues or LGBTQ people fighting for gay rights, it doesn't have the same effect. Everybody needs to work together in order for there to be change. That is what American modern history has shown us. Emil Wilberton, live for us. Thank you so much.